more agricultural produce. Beijing has yet to confirm just how much. Donald Trump, though, has once again suggested that a broader second stage of that deal could be put on hold until after the presidential election in November.
We'll start right away negotiating phase two. It'll take a little time. I think I might want to wait to finish it till after the election, because by doing that, I think we can actually make a little bit better deal, maybe a lot better deal. But phase one is a phenomenal deal. Could be up to $50 billion in farm product.
Meanwhile, a new poll shows that the majority of Americans of all political leanings believe the Trump administration's policies are helping the overall U.S. economy. A survey by the Financial Times and Peterson Institute showed a 51% approval rating for the president's economic policies, with significantly more support among Republicans than Democrats, but a new uptick among independents, too, as you can see there. 46% of people said they were against tariffs on the country's biggest trading partners. And while many thought the hard line with China had been beneficial, only about a fifth of respondents said they were in favor of that continuing in the future. Let's check in on the rest of the day's trading action now. The major European indices closed higher. We saw the DAX once again sharply outperforming, rising 1.33 percentage points there. London's FTSE 100 up about a third as the Parliament began to vote, or prepared to vote rather, on that Brexit deal. We saw tech and telecom stocks adding more than 1%. We're seeing more records over on Wall Street. The Dow Jones inching closer to the 29,000 mark, which that would be the first time ever. Apple shares jumped 1.5% after a record high there. That after Chinese government data showed that iPhone sales had risen drastically in December there. Well, it's been a disappointing day for retailers on both sides of the Atlantic. In the UK, an industry body said overall sales had decreased in 2019 for the first time in a quarter of a century. Shares of Marks & Spencer tumbled 7% as it said it had overstocked on festive food and men's fashion, which didn't sell in the run-up to Christmas. The country's largest supermarket chain, Tesco, said it had a strong holiday season, offsetting a broader slump, but warned of a challenging market in the months to come. And the department store John Lewis has warned that its staff may not receive a bonus for the first time since 1953, as Christmas sales dropped 2%. Meanwhile, in the U.S., home goods retailer Bed Bath & Beyond lost nearly $39 million as sales dropped 9% in the third quarter. JCPenney, Kohl's, and Victoria's Secret parent company L Brands all reported lower sales for those crucial months of November and December, while Macy's said it would be closing 28 stores across the country after its holiday sales slumped. They're distancing themselves from the family firm and striving for financial independence. Prince Harry and his wife, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have sent shockwaves across the UK after their abrupt announcement on Wednesday evening. But it's also renewed questions about just how much money the British royal family has and where it comes from. Ellen Gainsford has the details.
They plan to cut the royal purse strings and move to become financially independent. But where exactly does the British royal family's money come from? Well, Harry and Meghan currently receive about 95% of their funding from his father, the Prince of Wales, who pays for their public duties and some private expenditures. That money comes from the Duchy of Cornwall, Prince Charles's portfolio of investments and property that earned £21.6 million in 2019. The other 5% comes from the sovereign grant, money paid from the government to the royal family, which is generated through a property portfolio owned by the Crown. With the young royals taking a step back from their duties, they're no longer going to accept money from the sovereign grant. But as yet, it's unclear whether they'll give up their other sources of royal funding, or how they plan to finance their expenses, including security, during the time they spend abroad.
You can't be halfway in, halfway out. They want Frogmore Cottage, and they want to be the Duchess of Cornwall to pay them, and quotes from the government. That's not on.
It strikes a little bit of have your cake and eat it to me. So I don't know how much they want to withdraw from society, but Will and Kate seem to manage quite okay.
Harry has inherited millions from his relatives' estates, while Meghan was a successful actor prior to her marriage. In a statement, the Duke and Duchess say they now plan to focus on a new charitable entity.
Of course, this announcement raising an awful lot of questions about the British royal family in general, but certainly putting a spotlight on its finances.
There's some impassioned views
Absolutely, on both sides.
on both sides. Kate Moody, many thanks for that.